So now we're going to create a color fill legend. So we're going to add some color into our plan, just to start to color code the spaces. Again, it's a visual thing. This is an optional visual thing. Some people prefer it because you can identify spaces quite quickly, based on your naming or your zone strategy that you might have. So if you click on ground floor, you've got to do this for every floor that you want to do. Now, there's a quick shortcut here. If you wanted to create a separate sheet, or a separate plan for color coding, you can do so. If you want to have a plan, for example, that is black and white like this, and it is for the furniture, it shows furniture, shows the detail. You can create a separate one. So if I go right click, duplicate view with detailing, that'll create a separate copy of the ground floor. And in this one, you can obviously hide and reveal certain things. So you can say you want to hide all your furniture. So if I go hide in view category, and that gets rid of all my furniture. You might want to hide certain things, hide in view category, and then I might want to hide all my tags because I don't actually need them in this one. So again, hide in view category, and that gets rid of my tags. Hide in view category. So you're not deleting any of this; you're just hiding stuff because it is still all there. So this might be my detail plan, with all my furniture layouts and my tagging, my dimensions, all that kind of detail. This one might be a bit more of a simpler plan that I show, just to show the spaces at different scale. So again, I'll get rid of those. I might get rid of these ones just to hide and view category. Get rid of those. Might even hide the grids because this one is very. I'm going to make this very diagrammatic drawing of my building. Okay. Again, you can change how much information you show on your walls. If you go down to here, level of detail, just now it's set to fine, so it shows all the wall makeup there. If I go to coarse, the wall's still the same, but the display setting is much more simpler. So again, you're getting rid of detail in this example. If for any reason some things don't go off, for example, this one might not be on furniture. You can hide and view category, and that gets rid of all the screens there. Again, you can go in and do the bathrooms as well. So I'll let you do that bit, but yeah, this is a much more simpler diagram of my building, on my plan. So I'm going to color this one up because I prefer the color ones being on a simpler diagram. That's probably a 1 to 100 or 1 to 200, so a smaller diagram rather than on my bigger detailed plans. So to add color fill, add a color legend. If you go to annotate, color fill, just drop that into the plan anywhere you want. Now, what we want to do is we want to color by rooms. Again, if you're into building services or you want to create spaces, that's where you might use those two options. So that's, again, you can create HVAC zones. You can also create different spaces or zones within your building, and that can be colored separately as well. So that's, again, other parts of Revit that you can do that. Color scheme, we're going to name them by name, rather than you can go by department, by name or number. We're going to go by name. So every name has a different color. Click OK. Just give it a couple of minutes, and there you go. So we've got some colors. So we've got classrooms are all in that same color there, in this green color. We've got IT labs gray, and the meeting rooms are yellow. Offices are blue. The store is like off gray. You can click on there and go edit type. Sorry, edit scheme. Sorry. You can rename that, so you can go room legend at the top there. You can also obviously change the name, change the color, sorry, of those. So if I go IT lab, I might change the color of the IT lab to something else. So I might go something slightly darker. Apply, and that does that. So if I go back to my, so if I go to my ground floor, if I change this to classroom 2, for example, okay, and this is where you'll see now that's changed it to classroom 2. So depending on how you want to view them, you can have all classrooms or all similar rooms named the same, in which case they'll have the same color. If you name them differently, they all have different colors. Okay, so that's a decision you've got to make in your one. I might just want all my classrooms to just be a classroom, and then in which case when it comes to color coding them, all my classrooms will be colored the same way. You can also you can also add in, for example, if I go back to my ground floor, you can add in spaces within spaces. For example, here I've got this big open plan space here. Now I can separate that space into two spaces instead of creating one room. So if I go room, that will try and tag that whole individual room. Okay, but I know that that's reception and waiting area and lobby and that kind of stuff. So there's a couple of separate things going on in that open plan space. So I can set to divide that space up. So if I go into room separator, and say for example I want to make this side reception, so I might say this is reception, and draw the line. It's a dash blue line. Make sure it's filled on either side, so it has to be complete to create that zone. And then if I go back into architecture and room, now you'll see that is a separate room to that one. Okay, so I can say this is a waiting area, and this is my reception. Okay, and then if I go back to my ground floor copy, again, that's added in those. So it's just quite interactive. It's quite good because it's all live. You can keep changing it again. It doesn't do the first floor, so you're gonna have to do this to the first floor again. So you're gonna have to go on and do every floor separately. But that's a quick way of adding another drawing type into your drawing sheets. Again, this one might be at a smaller scale rather than the big one, which might be a slightly bigger scale because you've got a lot more detail to show on this with your furniture layouts and your tagging and dimensions and that kind of stuff. But this one just gives you the option to have a more diagrammatic image of your plan.